I didn't know when, but I know now. And the area of truth is an area which the Lord has made especially real to me during our last visit to New Zealand and Australia, which was in February, March. And the area of truth has to do with the Lord's visits during the night season. Now, to me, this is an area of which we hear practically nothing. In fact, I have never heard anything about it at any time. And yet it is an area where many of God's people need a little light, an area of tremendous potentialities as to our relationship walk with God, and I would say an area in which God delights, perhaps like a lover will delight in having a little trysting place somewhere with his or her sweetheart. They can sit together, not necessarily talking a lot, but just being together and sharing what they wouldn't want to share in public or perhaps with anyone else. Now, I do not know how you are going to respond to this. I just do not know. But as for me, to me it is what, let's say, the garden of roses would be to sweethearts, where they'd like to go and sit, spend time with each other, and the less people walk by, the better they like it. And yet I know that since time of wholesome fellowship, communication, and getting to know each other, and looking forward to that time to time. Now I'm taking you to Psalm 17:3. There is something, you know, in an analogy here between the Lord and us. Have you ever noticed somewhere in the Gospels, I'm injecting this now, where it says that the Lord crossed the brook Kidron with his disciples? Those of us that have been over there and crossed that brook time and again know very well that the brook is very small and can very easily visualize coming down the slope from Jerusalem, remember, crossing that very short little bridge, going right over and up to the Mount of Olives. And it says that Jesus went across that brook with his disciples. Then it says particularly with Jesus resorted often with his disciples. The Lord had a place on the Mount of Olives, a nook, a corner, to which he resorted often with his disciples, to share with them some things he wouldn't share with the public. And so the Lord likes to develop a relationship between himself and his people, and he likes to do it. I know he likes to do it at night. I'm not saying he wouldn't do it by day, but the Lord has a particular preference, I think, for the night, not to the exclusion of the day, but because at night all is still normal. The children are sleeping. The cat is purring somewhere in a corner. The telephone isn't likely to ring too often. Unless you're a preacher, you can get it at all hours. People have no pity for preachers. They don't. There's no pity. That's true. I was with the pastor last year. We'll be going there this year again, very shortly, in fact. His telephone was going all the day. Nighttime open, 2 open. Breakfast time, dinner time, people paid no attention, no regard whether it's likely to be the pastor's eating time or resting time. They'd sit there with a long telephone cord. I understand, that's right. Oh, yeah. I'll do my best to be over, yeah? You know what he said? Somebody from the Midwest called him up at 2:30 in the morning and said, "Hey, how are you?" What's on your mind? Oh, I just couldn't get to sleep, so I thought I'll call you up and have a little chat. At 2:30 in the morning, a man like that doesn't need the chat. He should have been shot. I mean, I had said to Mrs. Beuttler, she was there, this congregation is going to lose their pastor. They're killing him dead. And he'll be obliged to leave to save himself and his family. Sure enough. I gave him a date next month, the end of this month. And our Brother Beuttler will get your meetings in just in time before we leave. That's it, right? Well, still, that was parenthesis, not just slipped in like something slipped. You ever slip? Well, I made a slip. That's not too bad. People have no pity. The Lord likes to come at night, and we'll turn now to Psalm 17 and verse 3. Thou hast filled mine heart, thou hast visited me in the night. Now we could go very well on here and go right into another line of truth. I spoke to you on the way of the Lord in the dark. I didn't use this verse. Part of this to testing, but that's not our subject this morning. We have to have a different day. Thou hast visited me in the night. The Lord is a night visitor. If you ever discover that he likes to cultivate with you a relationship by being more or less a frequent night visitor. You can count yourself as being privileged above many. The Lord's night visit is better than the late show or the late show or the X-rated movies after midnight. They say that's when they come on. I don't know. There is a late show, a midnight show. I'm confusing you here. There is a visiting time for the Lord with you any time during the night. And speaking from my own experience, sometimes he sure likes to hang around for a while. David said, "Thou hast visited me in 8:3-4. I skipped something. I need to. When I consider thy heavens, the work of thy fingers, the sun, moon, and the stars which thou hast ordained." Now know, what is man that thou art mindful of him, and the Son of Man that thou visitest him? Here I would simply say, oh, the wonder of it all. What wonder? The wonder that he who created the beautiful heavens, put the planets in their orbits, put millions, literally now, of universes, literally, into space, beyond any idea of the comprehension of man, and yet to think that this God condescends to sinful human beings and visits them for fellowship, communion. That's what God did in the Garden of Eden. They heard the sound of the Lord God walking in the cool of the day. How considerate God is of the comforts of his creatures. They didn't have air conditioning in the Garden of Eden, so the Lord selected the timing of his visits for the cool of the day, which probably was the evening after the heat had subsided, and the evening air would take over in this refreshing coolness. Over there it gets cool, cold even by night. The Lord is even considerate of our comforts. That's why he has the holiday in up the hill for the Beutlers when they come to Oakleigh. Well, these things will help us. Now we go to 18:28, that I had skipped before. For thou wilt light my candle, the Lord my God will enlighten my darkness. Now what we're doing here is this. So very few of God's people have any idea about the Lord being a night visitor.
that when they do have the experience, they're completely in the dark as to what to do about it. You remember what's his name? Samuel. Samuel had to lay down to sleep. The Lord called him, Samuel, Samuel, and he ran away. He needed light, he needed revelation, he needed understanding. And so David saying, thou wilt light my candle. The Lord, my God, will enlighten my darkness. Now this is what I'm trying to say. Very, very many people, God's people now, need to be enlightened, come into an understanding of the experience of the Lord's visits during the night. I know that so. Because some of God's people have experiences they know nothing about, do not understand, have never heard of it, don't know what to do with it. They're in the dark. Now in Psalm 149, Psalm 119, verse 105, it says, thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. So this is what we're doing this morning. The Word of God, thy word, the Word of God is a light, a lamp, a candle. And this morning we have a candlelight service. We are bringing the candle of our understanding to the candle of the light of the Word of God. And if you can picture it, supposing you all have a candle in your hand unlit, and let's say this is the candle of the Word of God lit, light them at the candle of the Word of God to give us light on the Lord's visits during the night. From this candle, we light the candle of our understanding to enlighten our darkness, our ignorance in the area of the Lord's night visits. Now then, having said this, we'll get started. First of all, now supposing we are asleep and get awakened, either the Lord knocks or awakens us with His presence, which in my experience is by far the most frequent, or awakens us in some other way, and we have an awareness of the fact that somehow the Lord is so near, so real, with a sense of His presence. The first thing is, what are we going to do with that presence? What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to respond? Well, one of the first things I know is to get out of bed. Staying in bed just does not work unless you're a cripple or something. And the reason it does not work is because And we don't like to get out from under those nice, comfortable covers. There is a certain indecision or duality involved, a half-heartedness. And the Lord is quick to sense that. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll just turn over and do my praying on the other side. And before you know it, it's 6 o'clock. My experience has been, it just does not work.
Amen.
The Lord does not like compromise. And one of the best things to do when we have that awareness of His presence and sensing of His Spirit, and He has come, best thing we can do is get up. Sometimes the first thing I do is go and get my neck under a spigot of cold water. Right there, that's where you wake up. You don't wake up here with the cold water on your forehead. You don't wake up here. You wake up here. And if the cold water hits the back of your neck, there is where you wake up quicker than in any other way. I guess the nervous system or something is there. I don't know. That's the way it works. And get ourselves positioned with earnestness. Remember God saying to Ezekiel one time, stand upon thy feet that I will speak unto thee. In other words, don't keep lying on the grass. Hello, where are you? No, he's a sovereign. A great man. Come along, you wouldn't just stay lying on the ground. Oh, I guess some of these characters we have today. They don't give anything for it. They don't care about who they're rebels, they're revolutionaries. They have to declare their independence from the system at every opportunity they've got. But they like what the system has produced. Nice string clothes. They're a species of their own kind. They belong to they belong in the zoology book. I'm not talking about this kind. I'm talking about decent people. Decent people, normal people. Normal. Human heart. You were lying in a park around here, take it easy. And somebody next to you said, hey, look, the governor is coming. I know nothing. You have a governor here? The governor is coming. And he came up and he addressed you. How do you do, son? What would you do? Okay, Doc. Well, if you have any respect, even self-respect, to get up on your feet and stand. That's a matter of courtesy. First to make courtesy and denounce as weakness and subordination. I know that, but we're not going along with this nonsense, of course. Out of sheer respect, you'd stand up. You know what I mean? How much more with God? There is such a thing as responding to God. Now then, taking Psalm 63, 67. As to the question, what to do? 63, 67. When I remember thee upon my bed. Now here in this case, David spent apparently hours awake at night. I do that too. There are times when the Lord visits you, and you get up. Here I am, for thy servant speak, for thy servant heareth. There are times when you just wake up and cannot go back to sleep. What better activity is there upon your bed but to remember and meditate on the Lord in the night watches when we have a waking spell and Somanex doesn't work. I haven't seen it work yet, not with me anyhow. What are you going to do with all that time? Well, there's a great opportunity to meditate upon the Lord, to meditate upon His Word. It's a good psalm in Psalm number 1 that you can read sometime in conjunction with this stuff. I will meditate upon Thee. You know what? Our generation, our Western generation, I speak now, and you may not agree with me, and you don't have to. It's not my fault if I'm right, just to say. But I maintain our Western civilization is a dying civilization. Have you ever gone to Rome? Walked through the Colosseum and watched its crumbling, so to speak? Or sat up on Palatine Hill on top of the ruins of the palaces of the Roman emperors? That great empire that ruled all around the Mediterranean, the exclusive military power on earth that no nation could successfully challenge for a long, long time. Roman civilization was destroyed from within with luxuries, wealth, self-indulgence, pleasure-seeking, high taxation, and so forth, the whole list. The empire that was believed to last forever decayed. And in some respects, I prefer a European civilization. In some respects, I prefer an Oriental civilization to Western, to what we call particularly now American civilization. Ours is rotten. And I better come to my point, I'll take them at a time. God's people, especially in the Western world, and I'd say especially in America, you can't disagree with me in your mind if you feel that I'm wrong. They are losing, have lost some of the great values of life. For one thing, we are materialistic. More people, less work, double pipe and over. Getting, grabbing, more. That will leave any nation to ruin. And the others are catching on. Japan's turning toward materialism. Very much so. Germany is terribly, it's in human decayed nature. And one thing that our civilization has lost, a loss that hurts Christians because they have lost it, is the art of meditation, contemplation, thinking things out. Well, meditation, dwelling on certain areas, we meditate on. Now the Bible has quite a bit to say on meditation. And Americans want to be entertained. Children, instead of reading a good book for pleasure, as well as for improving themselves and their language, their English, their grammar, their vocabulary, they turn to this one-eyed monster, the TV set. There was a time when children were reading, had books. A lot of them don't want to read. What's on TV? To a tremendous loss of inestimable values to their future lives. I watched a program recently on TV where a young columnist, a girl I think 11 years old, answers questions for the teenagers in the newspaper. And she was asked on the screen being interviewed, how long do you think, how much time do you think school children should spend on the television set each day? That girl said, 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours! TV program every day for a child, 2.5 hours! You seem to think, what's wrong with that? They have a whole lot better things to do, such as reading. Of meditation. I get on these long flights, so does this man over here. All right, let's say you're on a New York, Honolulu, non-stop flight. That's about 10.5 hours. All right, you have breakfast. Then comes a program, comes a show. Down go the shades, up goes the screen. There you're a captive audience. I haven't seen, I don't watch them. Seldom do I pay the attention. Once in a while, I'll have a little bit something at the Serengeti Plains in Africa or something. But usually it's plain junk. Keynote being either sex or crime. Apparently that's America's major diet. It's admitted. That's the average American major diet. If the TV people know what they're doing. And of course, as doctors have said, or would-be doctors, you are what you eat. But what kind of people go to that kind of stuff? What kind of people go to X-rated movies? Who are they? They are what the movies show. A decent person wouldn't go there. A decent person wouldn't show it in their home either. The country could be flooded with pornography. They'd be out of business in a week if everybody were like me. I just not interested in this. Of course not. How come it's such a $1 billion business? It's symptomatic of the rot in American society. No decent person would be interested in it. How come it's so popular? It's the people's condition of heart that makes it popular. A decent person has nothing to do with it. Haven't I wicked this morning? You'd better have another road. I've seen, they've had movies on a Honolulu flight from New York that lasted maybe 4 hours. You suppose I take the time and sit there and if I'm by the window, I put my shade up again after they put it down. That's my seat. I turn on the light. Even though I'm down on the ground. That was wild. Jesus mercy. I have civil rights too. And if I want to read my Bible or work on a new set of notes at my little table, while the rest of the passengers enjoy watching the smut on the screen. Sometimes it's smut. That's my business. Or an opportunity for keeping the sheet down and the light out. It doesn't get total dark in my name. And sit there for the longest time, meditating, contemplating, fellowshipping, enjoying His presence, evaluating a truth. What a golden opportunity on some of those flights to take time with the Lord in the meditation of His Word and the contemplation of Himself, while others feed on a major diet of sex and violence, which is largely the menu on the street. But that's what people are. That's what they are. These things are a reflection of the public. That's right. Americans. Speaking broadly, don't take pleasure in meditation, in thinking, creative thinking. No. What's and that thing contributes to our decline and ultimately to the destruction of this nation, or at least the cessation of these nations as a major world power. You may disagree. Let's hope you're right. I don't wonder that way. But to me, the parallels between the decline of Rome and Greece and their ultimate end is too powerful a comparison to be lightly ignored. So when it comes to the Lord, we need to restore the art of meditation. Now then, in Psalm 119:55, the writer speaks about meditating on His name. I spoke on His name yesterday. We won't go back to that. But Isaiah had said, let him trust in the name of the Lord. And I told you then that God's name is what He is. David then meditated on the nature of God, the goodness of God, the greatness of God, the justice of God. He loved to think about His God. Then notice in Psalm 42:8. I'm sorry. In verse 8 of Psalm 42, for the Lord will command His loving kindness in the daytime. Do you ever think about the Lord's loving kindness? How nice God is in giving us so many good things. But His kindness is also manifested in the opposite way. Whatever He does is done in kindness. Now, when I was a youngster, came home from school along a river, one of my fellow rascals challenged me and said, I dare you to walk into the river with all your clothes on. I walked right into the river with all my clothes on. I took up the dare. I was a water rat anyway. When I got home, I got guilty and had guilty feeling. So I didn't want to get anybody on my back. I went right behind my table and studied my French composition. Mother said, Ma, it's good to see you do your composition without being told. Well, I was guilty. My father came home, treated him nicely. I was working at my composition. Come over here, son. Felt my trousers. The very fellow who dared me told my father on the way home that my father took me to another room. See how she likes that? And gave me some old-fashioned education on a strategical part of my anatomy that I never forgot. Nor did I ever go back into the river with my clothes on. That was goodness too. That's the goodness that's missing in American families today. Failure to discipline our youngsters on the mistaken notion that will hurt them, will give them an inferiority complex. That's our new psychology. The little boy throws a rotten egg at the teacher in school. The teacher daren't say anything or she's got a lawsuit on the hands or a riot. Or a plastic bomb thrown at her. What did they do? You mustn't hurt the little boy. Yes, he threw a rotten egg, but you see, he was only expressing his true self. And not to impress that as they become ideological mystic self-conscious. That theory is a contributing factor to the deterioration of our country. Lack of discipline in the home. Could do that louder. You think we youngsters could be out all night and parents not know where we were? 10 o'clock? You were in the house and you better be there. Well, you might not agree with all that, I know. The lack of discipline in the home, lack of the development of self-discipline in the children, with the help of parents, is a great factor in the malaise of the country in which we are born. True loving kindness does not only buy lollipops. In fact, true kindness doesn't buy any. True kindness says, no, son, don't take that lollipop. Take it, let me throw it away. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is.
you are thinking I'm glad I'm not his kid. Every spirit, every meal you got 7-Up or Coca-Cola for all the kids. And there you are, the drink milk. That can be said again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Loving kindness is not just please the momentary feelings and bring a smile of gratitude. God, in his loving kindness, does for us things we enjoy and things for us that have to be endured. Because God, in his loving kindness, has in mind the very best for our ultimate good. Well, what's the use? So the Lord will command his loving kindness. But there are two sides to this loving kindness. Solomon said, he that spareth the rod spoileth the child. True goodness, kindness, loving kindness toward children employs discipline judiciously when necessary. Only this. Not restraining children and disciplining them is not loving kindness. Why God disciplines us, gives us a wallet of life because of his commanding, his loving kindness. Not only by giving us a lobster dinner once in a blue moon, or a nice stop at a nice hotel, other sides, which are all part of his loving kindness. I stood on the Brooklyn Bridge, I told you, in despair. I went through a rough time in New York City. I spent Sunday afternoons crying, literally, sobbing, sometimes incoherently. Across the New York Harbor, I take the ferry for a nickel and go across there into the woods and spend Sunday afternoons crying for loneliness. I didn't have a soul. Now in New York, where so many people are, precise. I was afraid. I didn't want to get into any trouble of any kind with male or female. I just didn't want to go down a wrong route and stay alone. And I cried. Walking all the week over the weekends, the city streets, not in gangs. No, sir. I kept free of her. But lonely. Oh, bitter alone. Sit in the restaurant with a cup of coffee to earn your place to sit. And stay as long as you're there till the manager or somebody kept making eyes at you. And you know, before very long, they're going to say something, young man. Don't you think it's about time you go on your way? This coffee has lasted long enough. So lonely on first Christmas night. Germans make a lot, you know, of Christmas. Christmas Eve especially. That's it.
We had a nice family unit and always were together Christmas Eve. That was the night of the year. I was in New York alone. My money was giving out. Christmas Eve, early in the evening, I had 75 cents left for the long weekend to live on. I wasn't safe then. I have a reason for telling you. Not to stop. What is Christmas Eve without a tree for a German? So I went out to look for a tree. They wanted 75 cents. That's all I had. Well, what's a tree without some bulbs on it or some trimmings? So I thought, well, I'll come back later, and later maybe they're cheaper. You know, those things go. So I went walking. Emptiness in here. Oh, I was touched. I pictured the band in Germany together, but without me. I got so lonesome, I thought if I could only see a family gathered around the Christmas tree. And there were rows of houses still together, and I walked up the stone steps and looked into a living room. And there was the father and the mother and a bunch of children, several children, working at the tree and putting boxes under the tree. And I stood there crying, just looking. And the man saw me. When he saw me, he put his box down. And I could tell from the way he came toward the door that I better clear out this. And I turned around and I ran down the street. Well, I knew no more, but apparently he went to the door to check this thing out. I could have got the rest, I don't know. And I ran, went round the block, back to my room. At 10 o'clock, I went out to buy a tree. The tree was 50 cents. And 25 cents for a few bulbs or few little silver things, whatever it was, trimmings, that's it. I went home, my little skylight room, didn't have windows, just the light up in through the roof. Trimmed the tree. Well, at least I had a tree. It was a long weekend. There was nothing, no money for eats. I fasted. And I sat there and I cried till my heart would seem to break. I cried there till way past midnight. I cried after there were no more tears to come, and that's all. When you have to cry, I have no tears left. All right, what's the idea? As I look back, God in His goodness has loving kindness unbeknown to me let me go through this very hard situation till I became so, how shall I put it, lonely, desperately lonely, that I finally decided maybe I needed religion, and went from church to church until I landed in one that corresponded to what I felt was my need. In front of me was a lady. She stood up and testified. And I sat there and looked at her and listened to her testimony, what the Lord had done for her. And I thought within my heart, what that woman has is the thing that I need. And it wasn't long before I had a church. But all this hardness was the loving kindness of the Lord.
a hard and bitter road. It wasn't lollipops and sugar plums. That is so true. It was but it took them to open me up, to respond to him, who said, "Come unto me, all ye that are weary and heavy laden." And we can spare our children, shield them too much from the hardness of life, till when they grow up, they don't know how to go in a mistaken concept of goodness to our children. And if we would be instructed by Solomon in Proverbs, we would recognize that a lot of what is called today child psychology is utter nonsense, and it's ruining the children more than it is making them. Excuse me for my strength. That's the way I read them. I told you I'm right. That contributes to the downward trend of this nation, and I'm afraid we have reached gone beyond the point of no return. Yes, spoke thereof. 42:8. Again. Wait a minute. Yes, of course. And in the night, his song shall be written, and my prayer unto my God. So, what we have here is that the Lord will command his loving kindness in the day as well as the night. But in the night his song shall be with me. There is such a thing as songs of the night. Job in 35:10 put it this way: who giveth songs in the night? Now you can apply that in several directions. Like when I spoke yesterday about the night, but when we go through the darkness, the Lord gives songs to sustain us, songs to guide us. Job speaks about songs. No, David says now in Psalm 32, thou encompassest me with songs of deliverance. Watch the songs the Lord gives you. Those he always speaks in songs. Many times. He warns in song. I'll give you an example. I had an itinerary that took me to Africa, South Africa, and over to Australia. And I had a seminar scheduled for the Congo, right in the interior. And I made this short, some of you heard me mention it, I think. Yet I'll say enough for the rest. And everything was set. And I was looking forward to the Congo visit. A few weeks before I left, I had a song in here. Not what I wish to be, nor where not what I will to be, nor where I wish to go, for who am I that I should choose my way? That song went over and over, until finally I caught on and said, Beuttler, God's talking to you. That song kept rolling around, not what I will to be, nor where I wish to go, for who am I said, Father, is anything wrong? In front of me, my consciousness, and explained it when I stood the word Congo.
something wrong with the Congo. Well, make a long story shorter, finally realized the Congo was supposed to be out. No Congo. And I argued, why not? I'm on my way to Johannesburg. Doesn't cost any more for the ticket to make a stop, and you know how we argue. I yielded reluctantly. I've never been in the Congo and looked forward to it. Very much so. This was to be beyond Stanleyville, way in. I was delighted to get back there for once. And I was up in Kono, that mud city in part south of the Sahara, sitting up on at the airport, because there is where I marked the time I would have spent in the Congo. I just had to cut a week out and do nothing, which didn't hurt me. And I was there sipping a Coca-Cola, and the DC-6 came in, women and children only. 5 minutes later, a DC-6 came in, women and children only. 5 minutes later, another DC-6 came in, women and children only. They all had bundles, dolls, boxes, teddy bears, whatever. Not one single man. I thought, that's a funny one. I went downstairs, made inquiry, and the lady said, haven't you heard? No, heard what? These are the refugees from the Congo. Refugees? Sure, have you heard about the revolution? No. Well, where did it break out? Oh, beyond Stanleyville. And she named the city where I was supposed to have the seminar. And I would have got caught right in the midst of the outbreak of the revolution. And as you know, many never got out. They're still there under a white cross. Some of the whites were thrown to the crocodiles in the Congo and what have you. I don't know what would have happened to me. The Lord wrote me. Songs of Hallelujah. You watched those songs? I was sitting at the airport in Rome one night, waiting for a flight to come down from Amsterdam to take me to Columbus, Ceylon. And I had been told by the authorities there that my papers for Ceylon were not in order. Now that was bad in those days because these countries were very officious and strongly anti-US, and they could really make it tough for you. And I was worried. And I sat there waiting for that light and noticed a song in here. It sang several times before I paid attention, and it went, I know the Lord will make a way for me. Finally, I woke up and I said, you thought to myself, the Lord's trying to say something. What's he saying? I know the Lord will make a way for me. If I live on, you know the chorus. The Lord is going to help me out with my predicament. My papers were not in order. Got to Ceylon early in the morning. There's other little, he's speckled. I think he was an Indian. Behind this, looking through my papers. I prayed. I thought, I think I'm better off if I volunteer what is wrong and let him fight it. Let's be patient. I want to get away with it. So I said, sir, I have a problem. And while I talked to him, down there I prayed. I said, God, you let me know, you'll make a way. Here is your chance. I told him what happened, told him our office, the Assemblies of God office in New York apparently made an error, and he could have kept me out of the country. Well, he said, what's the error? Pointed that out to him. There's this should be this, error. I prayed, oh God, it's your turn. And he looked up, Sir, he said, I think I can fix that up for you. Would you like me to? Oh, I said, I'd be so grateful. Sir, anyway. Have a nice day. Thou encompassest me with songs of deliverance. Wife and I went to the doctor about me years ago now. And the verdict was not good. She was crying. I felt like it. Because let us know that malignancy, I see so. We went back to the railroad station so down. As we went back, there was a song. Publish glad tidings, tidings of peace, tidings of Jesus redemption and release. Went to the hospital. On a morning would be the day, or the night. That evening, 3 preachers came, said, Brother Beuttler, we want to pray for you. They prayed for me. Next morning, they wheeled me up to the operating room. The doctor said, now, before we go ahead, I just want to take another look. He says, what's happened? What's happened? I said, 3 preachers came praying for me last night. He said, that can't be cancer. He said, cancer just doesn't act that way. I don't know what it was. He says, I want doctor. No point. We'll let you go. Songs of deliverance. Watch these songs. They may be just worship. They may be worship. But very often they are his method of speaking. Watch them. Sometimes the songs prepare us for something unexpected, your condition. I had some meetings in France. I will close up soon. Some meetings in France. About 2.5 hours express train north of Paris. Meetings were finished, good meetings. Now back to Paris, that train flew down there, one of these through lines in the road. It was a song. Lift me up above the shadows. Lift me up and let me stand on the mountain top of glory. God alone there is over and over. Lift me up above the shadows. Finally, I realized why the Lord is trying to say so. So I paid attention. And I recognized the Lord was speaking to my heart. In prayer to Him to lift me up above the shadows, lift me up and let me stand. I said, Lord, I don't understand. There are no shadows. And good meetings, tremendous meetings. That's a story in itself, what God did up there. Broke down all hostility of the French pastor had no use for Americans. And opened up grants in all North Africa for ministry, for in other African countries under French rule. And that's another story. I felt good. We had good meetings. The song wouldn't stop. Checked in Paris, the hotel where I stay usually, the Anglo-American. I wouldn't want to go there again, though, just in case some of you regard this as a recommendation. It's a low-priced hotel and used to be all right if you want to economize. But because of that, it has attracted the riffraff of American society. The slobs, uncouth, courageous, American youth. They're not all that way, but some are, you know. Those that make you instinctively ashamed that you're being recognized as an American is it's a reflection on you as well as their record. So I would want to go there today because of this. Hooligans. Bunch of noisy, untrained brats. Then it was all right. They handed me some mail. One was from wife. I reckon that's a list. Because I keep the best to the last. And I read that letter and it said something like, Dear Daddy, I'm writing to you from the hospital. You remember that we agreed that I should have a checkup for I did. And the doctor told me that he thought there was a malignancy. So I'm still here. They're taking further tests, and if they all, corroborate, and surgery will be necessary, I'm going to go through with it. Well, now I knew why the Lord gave me that song, lift me up about the shadows. They came fast. I was a shocker. I wondered, now what am I going to do? I knew what the Lord wanted me to do. And I knew what I wanted to do in the natural, go all fast. And I knew the Lord didn't want me to go home. He had given me an errand. I was an ambassador. I had no choice. I was under orders to go into Africa. And on the way home to Iceland, of all places. Many of you in the service have served in Iceland. You know what I mean, that God was making treeless, flowers, desolate, barren island. I had a fight for, I'd say, a couple of hours or so. My decision was made. I stood up and I talked to God. I pointed up my finger. I said, Father, I'm going to talk to you. I said, you knew that wife would be in this situation after I leave. You sent me anyhow, therefore, I cannot go. And I said, now, Lord, if I were not your ambassador with a mission, if you kill my wife, that's very good. I want you to know I'm not going home, not even for a funeral. I'll go home at the end of my work, at the end of the summer. I'll visit her grave there. But at the meantime, no matter what happens there, I want you to know I'm carrying out your work, your mission. He did not say come home. He ever said, I'm letting you know what's happening. And what made it worse was the little girl that was with the family. And she kept whining, where is my mommy? Where is my daddy? Why doesn't my daddy come? You know, those things kill you. Wherever you go. But when you're under assignment, you're under assignment. A soldier has to go to Vietnam. He better go, or he won't be a soldier long. You know what I mean? I know what Jesus meant when he said, he that forsaketh not father, mother, wife, children, houses, lands, for my sake and the gospel is not worthy of me. That's what the best. I wrote a letter that I wasn't coming, walked up to the mailbox, held the pathway in the smut out of the street. I said, I cannot do that to that girl. I pulled it back and went for a walk. And I got to do it. Then back, held it there, wouldn't let it go, and pulled it back again. And I can't do it. I said, you, sir, you must. You must. Went back again, held it there halfway in or so. He made it. Finally, I gave it a shove. In it went. I turned and ran down the street as fast as I could. As though the police or something were there. And I went to Africa. I was there 2 weeks before I heard the first word. I opened that letter. Dear Daddy, I'm still in the hospital. And wasn't any malignancy, but just a cyst. They took care of